there's a lake, there's a blue car, and I figured Justin and I were talking, Jay and I were talking about making some follow footage. And he had talked about a video that Noak and I did a few years ago where we were chasing each other down this like desert road, and he and Webb tried it, right? And it was pretty difficult to do.
Yep.
So
super difficult.
So explain the difficulties.
So you'd think that just flying and sitting behind somebody, like, you're gonna be like that sort of proximity, yeah?
Yeah.
And just holding that proximity would be fairly easy, but it's actually really, really hard. There's one thing that's difficult is the person that's following. It's actually really hard to see a mini quad. I think that you guys had the advantage of you were flying into the sun so that the quad in front of you was backlit. It was fairly well lit.
Yeah.
We've tried to do it in a couple of situations where it was maybe a bit overcast and the object that was like off in the distance behind the quad was a bit dark, so it doesn't contrast very well against the quad. So that's sort of going to be an issue here because we're going to try and do it up these tracks. And the other thing is you just really need to keep your communication up with the person that you're following, or both of you need to be talking to each other in terms of like, do I need to go faster, slower? How close are you behind me? When are you going to turn? So what we would do is, you know, if I was leading, I'd say, okay, I'm going to turn. You discuss the way you were going to turn. Is it going to be a sharp turn, or are you going to do a gradual sort of 180 and come back the same way? And say, I'm going to turn in 3, 2, 1, turning, and then you can start preemptively doing what the person in front of you is going to do and maintain that distance. So we did a couple of shots that were relatively successful, but I was never super happy with any of the footage, so we're going to give it another crack now.
The thing with proximity shots is you can usually get about 5 seconds of usable footage.
Yeah.
And that's like about what most people get. They're like, oh, I was really close for half a second, and then you turned or sped up or something. So the one thing that to take into consideration, and we're going to do this live, so you'll get to see us learning each other, because obviously we've never flown before. This is like the 3rd time we've flown together.
Yeah, but we've never followed each other.
We've never tried to follow each other, but there is a communication between the person leading the chase and also the chasee. The person leading the chase needs to maintain speed. That's one of the hardest things to do, is maintain a constant speed, because with mini quads you're pitching forward and back, and that's probably why you guys had issues, because you can say, hey, I'm going to turn here, but if you're not maintaining a constant speed, what happens is the guy in front will be going, the guy in back's like, oh, I need to speed up to catch up to the guy in front of me, and the guy in front's like, oh, I need to slow down.
It's the same thing when you're following cars, right? Like, by the time your brain registers that the car has done something other than what it was already doing, so whether it's turning, braking, accelerating, whatever, it's already too late.
Yeah.
That proximity has changed, and especially when you're following something, what actually kills the shot is if you change pitch. So if you need to slow down
you can't see anything
to back
anymore.
off, you've wrecked the shot, because you've wrecked the framing of the shot, or you might even completely lose them out of the shot, and then you lose them out of your peripheral vision and you need to find each other again. So it's a surprisingly complicated thing to do.
So with this thing, what will make it kind of easy and also kind of hard, it'll be easy because we're going to be following one track. So I can say, hey, we're headed away from us and we're on the left track. And in doing that, we can say, okay, well, there's the path of trajectory. There's no we're not deviating from the path. We're following the track of the trail, of the train track. And then the thing that will make it difficult is it's very like harsh lighting. You got light coming through the trees, so it's going to be kind of like iffy on the CCD, especially being able to see a mini quad with fairly
You're going to struggle, I think, seeing these props aren't super bright. If you've got like yellow props or something like that, it makes a huge difference.
Which is why I went with yellow props. Alright. Just let me know when you're going to start gradually slowing down so I can slow down as well.
Yeah.
But when you get into like a rhythm, and because what happens with mini quads is you'll get into a locked fixed position and you'll be in that position for a minute. And the tempting part is to like try to correct that position. But if you just lock it in, then you're not going to change speed, you're not going to change angle.
Even if I deviate off the track very slightly?
It's not that bad if you deviate off the track. It's worse if you pitch forward and start going faster or change altitude a bunch.
Yeah.
So just try to maintain at least an altitude within 2 feet, and then try to maintain a box.
That was another thing that I seem to be slightly better than Michael at flying really low, and when I was leading I'd be like, oh, I'll go as low as possible.
Yeah.
But you're out of his shot. the person leading has to be slightly higher than the person
Well,
following. So.
Unless both of you are comfortable getting really low.
You ready?
Yeah, give me 1 sec. And pick up.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, slow down a bit. I have no, okay, you're kind of high. All right, here we go. Good, good, good. Maintain the speed. Maintain that speed, maintain that speed. Good, get a little lower. Get a little lower, maintain. That's looking really good. Just maintain that, I'll get a little closer. Good.
All right, I'm gonna turn in 3. Oh,
All right.
there's that guy, there's a guy there on there.
Where?
He's on the left-hand side, he's got red pants on.
That's not a dude.
I'm just hovering.
I see you.
Okay, all right, I'm gonna come back and I'm in front of you again now.
Yeah.
Coming back on the same track.
Okay. So you're on the right track coming
Yeah.
back.
The
All
track
right.
furthest.
I got you. Maintain that and I can get some mad action going on. Yep, just maintain. Perfect. Maintain. Awesome, dude. I'm literally up your butthole right now. The other problem is understanding proximity of where you are and keeping them in shot and then not hitting them.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a thing. Okay. So
we
I'm
land?
back. Yeah, we can land or we can just.
Should we swap?
Yeah, we can swap now.
All right.
I'll just hover over the left track.
Yep, I'm on you. Okay, so start going. Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna go kind of slow, so don't like ram me. And I'm just gonna maintain the speed, very consistent, same altitude,
That's good.
same speed. Try to slow down a little. I know it's hard to catch up.
Can you go faster, a tiny bit faster?
Yeah.
I think I'm above you at the moment.
Okay, I'm super low. I'm speeding.
Okay, all right. Yep, that's it. Maintain that.
All right. I'm literally locked onto this rail.
Yep. There's a guy up ahead, so start turning now. Just do a pivot now.
Slowing down. Gonna turn clockwise.
Yep.
Come back down the same track. I'm waiting on you. You ready?
Go.
Okay. Coming down the track. You got me?
Yep.
9.
You can also caddy corner, like if I'm on the track, you can go in the middle of the track and kind of fly a little sideways.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
6.
I'm in front of you a little bit now.
Yeah, you're good. I'm passing you right now. Should be back into frame.
3.
So is that a little easier with someone that's...
It's much easier. The one thing I'll definitely say though is that that I learned when I was leading
Yeah.
is that the optimal speed is way lower.
Than what you think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So way slower than
Because-
in fact it was almost like the first run that we went up when I was leading, I was almost struggling to fly that slow.
Yeah.
And stay consistent. And when I was following you as well, it was sort of difficult. But I get why you do it at that speed, but yeah, like we definitely tried to do it faster, and it's a lot harder.
Well, the thing with speed is pitch happens quicker, so altitude changes happen faster at speed.
Yeah.
And then also, if the person behind you doesn't have a window to be able to speed up and slow down, then they're basically full throttle trying to catch. And when you're full throttle and you don't have a lot of angle.
When you mess it up at high speed, it's way harder to correct. Like you overshoot by a lot further.
Yeah.
It takes way longer to find each other.
Yeah, so
again,
I mean, I would say we're probably cruising at like 25, 30 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Which is what, 50, 60K?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's a lot lower than what people think. But we've never done that before. And obviously, I got some great shots.
I don't think mine would have been as consistent as yours, but I definitely, I think the second last run we were coming on the way up,
yeah,
I was like
I wasn't saying anything because I was concentrating so
Yeah.
much, but I was like,
I saw your shadow. It was
yeah,
like
I was literally
inside
just
my
like
shadow.
there.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's,
Like you were almost filling my field of view.
yep. That's what you want.
So,
And in a GoPro, it'll look like you're 30 feet away still.
yeah.
All right. So we did that the first time in Super View, and this is kind of the icing on the cake to making follow footage work. Is we're gonna run wide now, so it's 2.7 wide, and we've had a little bit of experience flying with each other, so that helps.
Yeah.
And yeah, it takes a certain type of person to be able to do this, because you can't just fly like a normal person. You have to maintain something that's predictable for the person following you. You have to maintain a speed window, you have to maintain an altitude box, and you also have to be able to communicate what the heck you're gonna do next. So now that we've understood each other and how to communicate, we're competent flying together. We have a track that we're gonna be following. Now we're just changing the field of view on the camera itself to be able to crop in a little bit better so that it looks like we're actually closer than we are. But in reality, we're probably less than 6 inches from each other at any given close point in time, which is very close.
Yeah.
So let us begin.
Right.
Like kind of waiting for us to get shanked by some random.
You ready?
Hold up. Goggles are all kind of catty off this on my head.
Good?
Yep.
Okay, ready and go.
Too fast?
No, it's fine.
Trying to get my skid on. Sorry, I touched the track and it slowed me down a little. Yeah, we should probably change back.
Landing?
Yeah.
I'd say that was the same as the first time. The reason I wasn't saying anything when I was following you is because you were doing what you needed to do.
Yeah.
So I didn't
You just
need you
needed
to
to
change.
catch up.
I just needed to concentrate on what I was doing.
Yep. Dude, I just grinded so many tracks.
Yeah.
So anyways, that's the first take of following footage with Jay and Steve.
Jay and Steve's adventure.
Jay and Steve's adventure.
What do we do it for? For the